topic is arthritis and nutrition. And if you have any extra additional comments or questions after the viewing, you can always email me at info@truenosh.com. All right, why we're talking about arthritis? Well, it is very common, but it's not well understood, and mainly because it's not just one single disease. It's a lot of different factors referring to mainly pain in the joint or joint disease. And there are about 100 types of different arthritis, and they're all related conditions, all right? There are 50 million adults and 300,000 children with some type of arthritis in the Western world, which is pretty large amount of people suffering from joint pain or joint disease. It is more common in women, and it occurs more frequently as people get older. So people of all ages, all sexes and races can and do have arthritis, and it is a leading cause of disability. Since we are a part of the Disability Foundation, I want to make sure that people get this message across, and we can talk about different foods and nutrition to come up with different menu ideas and food ideas. Okay, so there are some risk and precautions that people can take. There are different changes that causes, inflammation in your joints, and that can actually cause changes in the shape of your joints and cause permanent damage. This can be visible if you are looking at someone's fingers or knees. They can appear to be a little bit thicker than the rest of the finger or the rest of the leg. And others are not seen and can only be seen after you take an x-ray. That's why visiting a doctor on a regular basis, having an annual body checkup is important. Some arthritis can actually affect the heart, the eyes, the lungs, kidney, and skin, and not just only the joints. So it's important to see what kind of pain you have. And it is usual to have aches and pains occasionally, but if that pain doesn't subside after a few days and it really interferes with your daily activities, and you notice that gradually this pain gets worse and worse, it's time to see a doctor. So for me, I will focus mainly on joint health with nutrition, and we're going to go into some foods and some supplements also. So eating a healthy and balanced diet is very important to decrease your risk of inflammation. We had a session previously talking about anti-inflammatory foods, and I urge you to review one of my previous sessions. I think that is about 2 months ago. It's one of my earlier sessions with Kinetra. And there are foods in there that can really help you lower your inflammation in your body. These are foods that can obtain from eating a diet with a lot of fruits and vegetables, with a lot of different colors in your diet, as well as dark green vegetables, as well as also whole grains, because there's a lot of fiber that helps you with digestion and absorption. And studies have also shown that eating fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids can also reduce your risk of developing arthritis. And omega-3s are also obtained from plant foods such as flax seeds and chia seeds and walnuts. And if you are supplementing, if you think that you're not able to eat enough omega-3s or different vitamins and minerals in your diet, supplementation could be something that you can look into, and you can always ask your doctor or dietitian to see what they can recommend to keep up with your joint health. I also want to talk about the Mediterranean diet today. So we haven't really focused on a specific diet other than like an anti-inflammatory diet in some of my studies. But the Mediterranean diet has been studied quite vastly, and some of the benefits are lowering blood pressure, protecting you against chronic conditions ranging from cancer to stroke. And it can help arthritis by curbing inflammation, and then it can therefore benefit your joints as well as your heart, and actually can help you maintain a healthy weight. So those of you who are heavier in weight and are talking to your doctor to see what ways you can lose some weight to decrease some pressure on your joints, a Mediterranean diet can help you with weight loss. So that can help you actually lessen pain in your joints as well. So what are some of the main focus of a main Mediterranean diet? Well, if you think about it in the Mediterranean, like some regions such as like Italy and Greece, they're known to have a high diet in olive oil, and that's also something that's very important to keep in your kitchen. But not just olive oil, we'll talk about that later. Some other types of oils are also very high in omega-3s and your polyunsaturated fats. So let's focus on some veggies and fruits too. So how much should we eat? Veggies and fruits, you know, you can have so many different options, especially when you live near a farmer's markets. There are just so many different varieties, and depending on the season that you go shop in the farmer's market, there are different types of fruits and vegetables available, and I'd urge you to experiment with something new. And aiming for about 9 or more servings a day. So meaning one serving is about 1 cup of most veggies like broccoli or kale or peas or carrots, right? But if you're thinking about one fruit, that's about 1 serving, or 2 cups of leafy green veggies, and I'm talking about like spinach. So why fruits and veggies? Well, because they're loaded with antioxidants as well as anti-inflammatory agents, and it actually is acting as our defense system. If you think about a fruit or vegetable, it can't grow legs and run away from predators, right? What it has is on the skin, mainly it's concentrated on the skin, the antioxidants, and also helps make the vegetable or fruit determine their color, all right? And these antioxidants neutralize unstable molecules called free radicals that can damage the cells. And free radicals are in our air that we breathe, in the food that we eat, and sometimes in our workspace. And more news. So some citrus foods like oranges, grapefruits, and limes are rich in vitamin C. So in food terms, vitamin C is actually considered an antioxidant because it prevents and inflammatory, right? And prevents inflammation and can maintain healthy joints. And others research suggests that citrus foods contain vitamin K, and leafy greens also are really rich in vitamin K. So kale is an example, very rich in vitamin K, and broccoli and spinach and also lettuce and cabbage. And these are known to reduce inflammation in your blood. Other fruits, mainly different colors of veggies and fruits. If you are thinking about, if you're looking at a cabbage, try a purple cabbage versus just a green cabbage. And the more dark and the more brilliant the color, the more antioxidants it has. So these include blueberries, cherries, spinach, kale, and broccoli. So beans also are very good. Why? Well, beans are good because they have fiber and phytonutrients, and they help lower this indicator in your blood called C-reactive protein. And high levels can indicate an infection, or it can also be related to arthritis. And there are a lot of these fiber and phytonutrients in beans that can lower these C-reactive protein levels. And it's relatively inexpensive, and it also is high in proteins, which has about 15 grams per cup. And proteins are good for maintaining your lean body mass and your muscle health. Some good sources are red beans, red kidney beans, and pinto beans. And these are actually ranked top 4 in the antioxidant antioxidant-containing foods. And if you compare it to blueberries, a wild blueberry is number 2. So it's really close up there with the ranking of antioxidant-containing foods. Another food group, which is whole grains, and they are a type of carbs. Well, a lot of fruits and vegetables are type of carbs, but beans and whole grains have complex carbs, which are high in fiber. And you know, someone should be looking at about 6 ounces of grains per day, and 3 of these ounces should come from whole grains. Whole grains meaning like brown rice or quinoa or oats. Those are whole granules, and the fiber in those whole grains help you keep yourself fuller a lot longer and can lower your blood levels of the C-reactive protein that can cause inflammation in your body. And whole kernels, like whole wheat, as I said, or even bulgur wheat, brown rice, or quinoa, they may, you know, if you are gluten-free, you may have to look at different sources that don't have gluten in it. And there's a lot of options out there right now. You can find buckwheat that has no gluten in it. You can eat some chickpeas, also is a really good whole grain, which is a pulse, as well as quinoa. Quinoa comes in all different colors, and they're actually now grown in Canada, which is very exciting because they used to be trucking it down from Latin America, but now it can be locally sourced. Some anti-inflammatory foods, we talked about that in the anti-inflammatory session that we had, but I want to reiterate it here because it really helps with decreasing pain and inflammation in our joints. Berries, they're really high in antioxidants and also an anti-inflammatory agent because they're rich in vitamin C and also anthocyanins, which are the darker reddish purplish color in the fruit, and it can soothe, you know, a lot of swelling, can prevent you know, degeneration in the joints. And seeds and nuts, I can't encourage you to find a mixture of seeds and nuts that you like and make a trail mix, right? Last week we did apples with some peanut butter, and then we sprinkled on a mixture of different seeds, which included pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and chia seeds, and as well as goji berries. And they are high in vitamin C and E, and they keep your tissues healthy and strong. Almonds, walnuts, pistachios, pecans, sunflower seeds have a lot of vitamin E and zinc in it. And then they're also rich in omega-3s. So walnuts are known to be high in omega-3s as well. They benefit the eyes and also decrease your inflammation in your joints. So you can grab these as a snack, and also can actually have some sort of protein in there and also fiber to help you stay satiated a little bit longer. Good fats. We also had a huge session on fats, and I want to reiterate it again here. Olive oil is known to be the oil in the Mediterranean because there are so many different olive groves and olive trees are all over Italy when I visited that a few years ago. And try to, you know, incorporate that into your diet, about 2 to 3 teaspoons daily. So we're going to do a dressing later as well as a sauce, and we're going to use some olive oil to blend in our sauce and our dressing. It is loaded with healthy fats, but it also has this substance called oleocanthal, and it's same type of properties as a drug called NSAIDs, or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. And this is the same drug in ibuprofen, and it inhibits this COX enzyme that dampens the body's inflammatory process and therefore reduces pain sensitivity. All right. And great sources are extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil goes through less pressing and less refining, so therefore it retains more nutrients than other olive oils. But you can't cook extra virgin olive oil in high heat, or else the chemical properties changes and it can actually be cancerous. So you want to be careful when you are pan searing or when you're deep frying. You don't want to use olive oil to cook when you are cooking in higher temperatures. What other oils that you can use, not only olive oil have good health benefits, avocado oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil also has been shown to lower cholesterol. Walnut oil, which is something that not many people know about, but it has been shown to have 10 times more omega-3s than olive oil, which is kind of amazing, right? And then omega-3s, we'll talk about that. We talked about that in many sessions now, why we call it an omega-3 fatty acid, because the double bond is at the third carbon. And then you can find omega-3 fatty acids in fish like salmon and mackerel and sardines. And then you can also find omega-3s in plant form like chia seeds and flax seeds. Chia seeds has more omega-3 fatty acid content as compared to flax seeds or salmon, and is also more calcium than a glass of milk, right? And also it has more antioxidants than blueberries. Wow, this is more like a food that you can add into your dressing, as well as your sauces, as well as you can toast them and sprinkle it on top of your cereal, right? Exciting stuff. And then try to make some, a fatty fish like salmon. You can bake them, you can steam them, you can actually mix it into a mayonnaise and create a dip. You try to make them a part of your daily diet to reduce oxidative damage and promote healthier joints. So a lot of people ask me about nightshades, and some people don't even know what they are. So if you look at my slides, nightshades include eggplants, tomatoes, bell peppers, potatoes. These are actually known to be a disease-fighting vegetable and then actually boast maximum nutrition with minimal calories. But they are known to have this substance called solanine, and it's an alkaloid chemical that has been related to arthritis pain. But that is mostly, coming down from word of mouth, or people tried it and avoided it. But there is actually no scientific evidence, not enough, to suggest that nightshades trigger arthritis flares. So I suggest to you, if you want to try it out, there's no harm. And some people believe that nightshades, contain a wonderful nutrient mix that helps inhibit arthritis pain. But there's another group of people that also report symptoms to decrease when they avoid nightshade vegetables. So it's really on a personal level and your own tolerance. So if you notice that your arthritis pain flares, you can consider eliminating all these nightshade vegetables from your diet for a few weeks to see if it actually makes a difference. And then when you slowly add them back one by one, and if the symptoms, change, then you know which foods trigger it and which foods don't. So you can experiment that with yourself, with cooking different types of vegetables and see what happens to your pain levels. Some supplements to consider. So supplements should only be considered if you are low in these vitamins and nutrients when you talk to your doctor to get a blood test. But some of these supplements you can consider, and that is curcumin. We talked about that a few times because it is the active compound in turmeric, which is the yellowish orangey tuber that is the same family as a ginger, and it is a powerful anti-inflammatory agent, blocking anti-inflammation promoting enzyme that is causing a lot of pain and flare-ups in your joints. And black pepper has been studied to increase absorption of curcumin. So adding some black pepper to your golden milk. We also shared a recipe for golden milk a few sessions ago. Also in your curry, which we're going to make a really simple one today. And then omega-3 fatty acids that are in supplement forms, in fish oil forms, or in flax oil forms, they can be high in anti-inflammatory properties. And they seem to work better in rheumatoid arthritis than osteo, mainly because rheumatoid arthritis is mainly driven by inflammation. And that makes sense that omega-3s decrease inflammation, right? And then over the counter, you can find glucosamine and chondroitin. And why people take this is because these are the components of cartilage. And cartilage cushions your joints. But studies differ. So which one is more effective than the other? There are many studies that suggest that glucosamine is better, but there are also many studies that suggest chondroitin is better. So, and some suggest that glucosamine sulfate is better than glucosamine hydrochloride. So, you know, it really depends on the supplement and what scientific studies you're reading. But one study compares both, and they both offer the same amount of pain relief. So it really doesn't really matter which one, but they can both help with pain relief. There's also some other studies that support glucosamine sulfate, not hydrochloride, is better, even with or without chondroitin, can help with your knee osteoarthritis, okay? Supplements, you need to read the labels and also be wise when you choose them, all right? So some natural remedies may help reduce pain, but natural doesn't mean that they're safe, mainly because the FDA does not approve the effectiveness of dietary supplements. And manufacturers can just list ingredients on the label without it even being inside the bottle, which is something that everybody should be more mindful when they're shopping for supplements. Look for a seal or some sort of certification. And you know, sometimes it's so scary that these can also contain some prescription drugs, right? A good way to confirm a safety and effectiveness of the drug is you can visit the Natural Medicines Comprehensive Database. It is a website, and they do some comparisons of different supplements, and you can see for yourself which ones are studied more heavily and ones that are not recommended. Physical activity, always something that I focus on usually at the end of my presentation because it plays a vital role in keeping you fit, strong, and healthy and happy, and improves your mood, your mental health, and improves general circulation, therefore reducing your risk of arthritis. Muscles protect against obesity, so therefore you're lessening the amount of pressure on your joints by losing weight. Promotes also insulin sensitivity, which means you can decrease your chances of diabetes. And also muscles promote circulation. Muscle plays a very important role to prevent chronic diseases, especially when you age. And we know that arthritis is a disease that progresses as we get older. So you want to do everything you can to promote a healthier lifestyle, with including some light jogging or walking or even a yoga class in your physical activity and your everyday life. Choosing your health is important. So if you're a smoker, consider quitting smoking because it can impact your circulation negatively and can be a risk factor for many chronic diseases. Increasing physical activity, as we said, and stimulates blood flow, helps improve vasodilation, which actually makes your arteries get stronger and more elastic and can pump more blood. And maintaining a healthy weight, right? So being obese or overweight can negatively impact blood flow, therefore causing buildup in your arteries, and your circulation decreases, therefore inflammation increases. A healthier diet, that's what we talked about today. Try to rewind my video and go through what is the different foods that you should incorporate in a Mediterranean diet. And these are including vegetables, healthy fats, fiber-rich foods that usually are the whole foods type of section. So try to shop in the supermarket on the outside of the supermarket in the U, right, where the poultry, the meats, the vegetables, the bakery, all of that whole fruits and vegetables are usually in the outside section of the grocery store before you go into the middle. All right, and staying hydrated, super important, especially in the warmer season that we are experiencing now, because it can actually cause circulation problems if you are dehydrated and can damage endothelial cells and promote inflammation in your body. Reduce stress. I can't urge you more to try to find a way to calm yourself down, either through meditation, taking a yoga class, doing some gardening, or spending some time in nature, or calling up a friend. Maintaining health is not just one pill or one type of food or one nutrient, one lab result, or one type of exercise. It's really about balancing your diet, exercising, and being mindful when you're eating. An overall lifestyle can make the biggest difference to your health. And when you're shopping in the grocery store, make sure you're not shopping hungry. And when you're looking at health claims such as low fat, right? A label can say it's low fat, but in the back, the ingredients and the nutrition statement can be high in other processed items like refined carbs and calories, sugar and sodium. And these you also want to be mindful when you go shopping at the grocery store, okay? And this is my last slide and some steps you can take if you have more questions. You want to talk to a doctor immediately. You can call HealthLink BC. Just dial on your phone 811 and someone can link you with a healthcare professional. Or you can visit bcdietitians.ca. There are many different dietitians that can help you get your health in check and also can be your personal cheerleader when it comes down to food and nutrition. Okay, all right, so let's come to my kitchen and we can cook up a few recipes together. Hi, I just got a message from Amy. Oh, yay, thank you. I am also looking forward to my workshop also. So today, welcome to my kitchen, and we are here and we're going to do two simple recipes. One is a beet steak. So some of you might not know that beets come in different colors, and this one is a pink beet, which is really cool, right? It looks very pink, and I already washed them, and we're not going to take off the skin of the beet because it's super high in antioxidants as well as fiber. So I'm just going to use a knife to kind of shave off some of the impurities outside of the beet, but I'm not going to peel the beet entirely. Okay. And I got these ones at the Kwantlen Farmers Market, and they're in Richmond every Tuesday from 12 to 4. So I will be there next week, and if you guys have some time, come visit us at 7000 Minoru Road. The students at Kwantlen University grows these beautiful beets, as well as they have carrots and some nice salad greens, and I think these are all vegetables from the Kwantlen market. So what I'm going to do with the beet is actually cut them into slices to make a steak. So we're going to sear them lightly. Look at how beautiful this beet is. I can't even tell you how excited I am to sear this beet. You want to cut them into about 1 centimeter in thickness, so something like that was good. So with one beet, I have 1, 2, 3, 4.5 different types of different, slabs of beet steaks, I call these, okay? I want to heat up a pan in the back, and I'm not going to use olive oil, but instead I'm going to use a little bit of grapeseed oil, which has a higher smoke point for cooking. But for the sauce, we're going to use olive oil, all right, because it's only used to cook very low heat. So now I'm just going to place the beets on top of the oil. And I'm going to add a little bit of pepper and nutritional yeast on here. So I have some pepper that I'm going to crack on top. And then I have a can of nutritional yeast, which is the salty factor in my cooking. And we're going to try to avoid using salt in our cooking as much as possible. All right, so once the beets are getting heat up, I'm going to create a really nice curry sauce to go over the beets. And after we create this curry sauce, we're going to turn the sauce into a dressing really quickly. So what I'm going to do with the sauce is actually using a carrot as the base. So I nicely washed this carrot, but I also did not peel the carrot because of the antioxidants on the skin. So make sure you have a nice vegetable scrub. I'm going to cut the carrot into small pieces because we're going to throw it in a blender. I can hear the beets sizzling. Okay, great. So rough chop a carrot. And this is going to be our thickener for our sauce. The sauce is going to be very, very nice and bright. So in a blender, I'm going to add our carrots into the mix. And then I have a little bit of olive oil. Okay, so I'm drizzling about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. This is very high grade of olive oil that I added in here. And then I have my own personal mix of curry. So curry is very subjective and objective, so that you can buy your curry mix at a grocery store, or you can make your own. And curry has coriander seeds, has cumin, also has a lot of turmeric, and that's why a lot of curry powder is yellow. Turmeric is great for anti-inflammation, right? As well as cardamom pods and ginger powder. You can Google a really nice curry spice mix online, and you can mix it yourself at home as well, okay? So into my carrots, I'm going to add a heaping tablespoon of curry powder, so a little bit more. Make sure you don't wear white when you're cooking with turmeric. And then I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Okay, wonderful. And then I have a little bit of water that I'm going to add into my sauce. So that's about 1 cup of water. Okay. And you can add stock too. So if you have some chicken stock or some vegetable stock to get more flavor, you can add that. So this is about 1 cup of water. And then I forgot one thing, which is my chia seeds. So I'm going to go grab that now. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of chia seeds into my blend. We also have some flax seeds that we're going to sprinkle on top later. All right, so we had a whole carrot, we have nutritional yeast, we had the curry powder, it smells wonderful already, and some chia seeds and some water. And now I'm just going to blend this whole thing, and we're going to cook it in a saucepan. We're going to leave a little bit in the blender so I can make a nice salad dressing from it also. Okay, and that's almost it. So I'm just going to blend a little bit more. Great. Now I'm going to turn my pan on in the back, and we're going to cook this sauce to help it thicken. And then I saved about 1/4 cup on the bottom, and what we're going to do with that 1/4 cup is add a little apple cider vinegar, and try to buy a nice organic apple cider with the mother intact, which is good because it's got the prebiotic. And I'm just going to add about 2 cupfuls, which is about 1 tablespoon of that. A little bit more olive oil, because this is a salad dressing. Okay. And then we'll add some cracked pepper into this. I can smell the beets. I'm going to bring you closer to my stove so we can see what's going on. Just give me 1 second. There you go. This is what's happening on my stove. So we have the curry sauce cooking up in the back, and we also have some nice beets that is also getting nice and brown. So once you smell the beets, you want to turn it over. You see that pretty nice brown color. Now we want to season the other side, because we seasoned one side. So one side we had some cracked pepper. So why I add cracked pepper to the beets is because the turmeric actually increases its absorption with cracked black pepper. So that's why we added this on here. And then also a sprinkle of nutritional yeast on the top of the beets will make it a very nice and cheesy flavor. Okay, so also the sauce in the back is almost done. Just gonna watch the sauce thicken slowly as it cooks in a nice simmer in the back. And the chia seeds also, when it absorbs the water in the carrot and also the water in the mixture, can help thicken the sauce. So you only really need to cook the sauce for maybe 5 minutes, and the whole thing will thicken really nicely without adding any cornstarch or flour. We don't need any extra simple carbs in our diet. Okay, so basically once the mixture boils, I'm going to turn the heat off in the back burner, because you can see that it is getting pretty thick, and there's residual heat left over in the cast iron pan to help me cook the veggies. And I'm just going to make sure that the beets are nicely brown and seared, so it's ready for my lunch. I'm very excited for this because of the beautiful color that the beets give. All right, so I turned the heat off in the back, And now we're gonna go back to our salad dressing, and we're gonna finish it off in the blender that we have here. Okay, so do you guys remember what we had in our blender? We just added some extra apple cider vinegar and some extra olive oil. And then I just made a really nice dressing with 2 sauces that are from the same base. Okay, so I'm gonna use this plate for plating. And make sure that you remember your flax seeds for the top. And I have some beautiful salad greens from Cortland Market. And we're gonna make a nice warm seared beet salad. And what I also have are some nice yellow plums that I'm going to cut into the salad to give it a really nice color pop when we serve it up. Okay. Maybe another 5 minutes, and then we can have lunch. This is done. It's going to be our plate for our beets, and then I'm just going to arrange some yellow plums all over the place. Plums and prunes are in season right now, and they're super high in antioxidants and fiber, so I urge you to try different colors of plums. Okay, so back to my beets. Let's see how that is. Okay, they have a really nice golden brown color. Just another 2 more minutes, I believe. And we can serve them up. The thinner you cut the beets, the faster they cook. And you'll know that it's cooked when you it is a little bit more soft in color. Okay, so we have one ready. And then the little one is also ready. And this is a great shared salad. Whoop. Did we just lose everyone? Oops. Oh, sorry. There we go. I thought we just lost everyone. And then now just sprinkle a little bit of flax seeds on top for that nice crunch. This is a toasted flax seed. And then now you can have lunch, and this is a great shared dish with an appetizer. And then what we can do is use this as a salad dressing for the salad on the bottom, and then the back as dressing for the beets. So what I'm going to do is quickly dress the salad on the bottom with a spoon. You see that nice color with the carrots. And then the back, I'm gonna get a hot mitt for, oops. You see how nicely the sauce thickened after I turn off the heat? And then we can put that on top of the beets as a warm carrot curry sauce. And that curry sauce can be a base for a stew as well. So you can add, you know, your choice of protein on it before you serve it up. So add a little bit more stock or water, and that becomes a soup as well. So once again, here you guys are, and I hope you guys enjoy today's session. And next week we'll be back at the same time. Next week we'll be at the farmers market with Libra Nutrition, September 8th from 12 to 4. So next week's session will be pre-recorded, but it'll still be awesome because we will also talk about nutrition as well as share some recipes from my kitchen. All right, so are there any questions so far on Facebook or here?